Hi guys. I really love this show. I wish you guys could see it in person. I'm gonna need to be able to see that screen. Can you hand that to me? So just pretend you're in the museum right now, and you guys are the only ones in there, and this is what you get to see. Okay. So this tradition of work is from an area of India where mostly women made these kinds of images, and they were originally drawn on the walls of, not the first slide, but the second slide. They were drawn on the walls of people's houses, and they were just sort of, this kind of image right here is called a kobar, and this is just sort of make a happy marriage and a happy home. And so these were really powerful images, and they were drawn right on the walls. So it's cool that we get to, if some of you guys can be outside, it's cool that we get to try this with Sidewalk chalk. And then what happened with this tradition is that it sort of went on to paper. So here's another beautiful, beautiful indoor drawing. Stacked up cattle. I don't know if you guys would, probably stacked up house pets would make more sense for you. This is another kobar, that's that circular thing. This is sort of a marriage document. And in this tradition, the women would propose to the men with these drawings and say, yeah, I like you, we can get married. And you can see that it has a beautiful border and patterns everywhere. Next slide. And then these are sort of scenes, and this is what we're gonna kind of do, is you guys are going to adapt some of these borders to tell stories about your lives. So this is what's going on in the village. There's people with like a whole basket full of turtles, which looks like kind of super fun. And these patterns hold it all together. And this is a more recent image about a woman who got to go to the World Trade Center, and she's riding in an elevator, which was a big deal. You can see the two towers of the World Trade Center, and this was sort of, I don't know, it's sort of her tourist picture. So if you guys want to think about a trip that was really important to you, especially because a lot of us can't go anywhere right now, or an imaginary trip, that would be a thing you guys could draw. This is a whole life story, which is another thing that you could do, is the sort of like draw yourself in all the different things that have happened to you. And again, you can see there's this contrasting colored border and all of these lovely fill patterns. We'll start seeing the same patterns over and over again. Flowers, checkerboards. This is about going to the doctor, which is kind of a big experience for a lot of people. You can see sort of, this is a little finer, but there's a doctor with a stethoscope and the patient's on the table there, and then that's surrounded by elephants. So if you can think about like what kind of animal would surround you when you're going to the doctor, maybe if you're stressed out about going to the doctor or the dentist, for instance, you have your cat all the way around you to protect you. That would be nice. And then you have lots of flowers going around. Here's a cricket match. I don't know if you guys have ever played cricket, but it's like baseball, very popular in India, with a sort of, I don't know what it's called, a cricket bat. And these matches can go on for days and days. So the sort of endless flower border makes a lot of sense. Maybe you guys have played a really, really, really long kickball game or volleyball or something. So here are some of the shapes that you can think about. The borders have wavy lines, they have diamonds, they have triangles, they have arrows, they have sort of bouncy scallops or squares made of flowers. There are often checkerboards, and the checkerboards have a particular meaning in this tradition. They sort of relate to this mat that symbolizes the, refers to like everybody in the house getting along and unity. And around here, some of you guys probably have checkerboard vans, which means racial unity, or at least that's what a lot of people associate that pattern with. So you know, every culture uses patterns to mean different things, but patterns generally make us happy. And checkerboards in a lot of places mean everybody together. So when you use those, think about how they tell your story. And I'm gonna hand the camera back to my helpful cameraman. And so if you guys are, oh, and I meant to say that in the 60s, there was, I think in the 60s, there was a big economic crash in India, and the people in the Mithila area didn't have much way to take care of themselves or, you know, make money. And so the government realized that these guys were all, the women were very good at drawing on the walls. So they gave them a bunch of art materials. And some of these artists became really famous. So if you guys are inside working on paper, then you'll be the post-1960 part of the Mithila drawing tradition. And if you're out on the sidewalk, you'll be more like the before the 60s. So all of these things are important. So, but what we need to start to tell our story is a border, right? So definitely you're gonna need a border. And I like these borders that have flowers in them. Is that showing up?
Can everybody see?
Give us a thumbs up if you can see what Kim's drawing. Perfect, thank you.
Is that some thumbs up, guys?
Mm-hmm.
We're sacrificing the some of me being able to check in for the better camera angle. So, and maybe there's a triangle border. Triangles always look good. So while you're drawing your border, either on your sidewalk or around your paper, just start thinking about what kind of story you want to tell. So maybe, you know, there's the stories that are the trips, someplace that you went that was really exciting for you. There's another image that we didn't get to show you that's in the show of somebody going up in an elevator, and it is just the most exciting thing you've ever seen. There's flowers on all sides.
Kim, it looks like Hazel has a question if you'd like to call on her.
Ah, Hazel, what is your question?
So the drawing that you do, it can be of like anything from event that happened in the past, the future, or just something imaginary.
Totally, but we're going to think about how we use patterns to kind of like back up our stories and kind of set a mood around them. So like if you're telling a story about going somewhere in a car, but the car is surrounded by flowers and checkerboards and, you know, marching elephants, it's kind of not just a regular car trip, right? So Hazel, what would your border be for the thing you're imagining?
I think kind of the one of the wavy lines maybe, or a diamond.
Okay. You could combine them. Some of them have like triple layers, right?
Yeah.
So you don't have to really pick. You can say, I want wavies on the side, and then I want diamonds. And these, you know, in Mithila painting, all these things mean very particular things, but maybe diamonds remind you of something special, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pick the shape that reminds you of something that makes you happy. So is everybody figuring, let's just work on our borders for a little while. And then you can put one thing in the middle. And then another thing. Does anybody really like those borders that have like elephants in them? the checkerboards are really like the most important parts. There's always going to be, in this tradition, there's usually a checkerboard somewhere. So I'm going to throw that in first, and then I'm going to tell a story around it. These are pretty much happy stories, where like everybody sticks together and everything works out.
Where are we supposed to draw again?
Feel free to ask questions to Kim while she's drawing. You guys do not have to stay on mute if you don't want to.
Yeah, just holler out. Or Lauren can recognize you if you are going to do that hand raise thing.
Or in fact, you know, you don't need to be on mute at all. You can just leave it on and we can hear you talking about your choices together.
That can cause feedback, but just feel free
Okay,
to
so we'll take turns. Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to say something, just unmute and go ahead and talk. But then that keeps down the sort of interference of too many people on at once. So I haven't decided what this is about, but I've got a checkerboard. So I know that's going to hold everything together.
Why you following me? I didn't know you I'm not. Did you do lines like this? Wiggly lines? No. This one? So it's kind of like the chicken.
So how many of you guys are working inside and how many are working outside?
I think most are working outside. I'm working outside.
Awesome.
I'm
So-
working outside, and I think most people
Where
are
are
working
we?
outside.
Outside? Okay.
We're in the
that's cool.
driveway.
That's so awesome. I didn't know how everybody's signal would work. I'm really glad you can do that. And then people can come by and see what you made.
And
Yeah.
I also have a friend who happens to be on this. I didn't know she would be here.
Oh, that's
the one-
nice.
That's the one that's Helen Lee. She's from my school.
Ah,
Hi, Helen Lee. Is anybody working inside? Because if nobody's working inside, I'll stop demonstrating on the paper.
now Rittiman's inside. It looks like
I'm working
Ylan and Havy are inside.
We're inside.
Okay, cool. So I'll do both. There's also kind of some cross hatching in some of these, where you make a bunch of lines and then you make a bunch of lines going the other way. That's always really fun to do.
You want to tell them who that is?
Yeah, of course my story is about my ridiculous dog. And maybe it's like the time she stole a chicken leg. And she was very happy. These drawings were made very carefully, but over like a whole day. So we can do a kind of crazy fast version. So I guess I'll make the chicken leg brown. And the dog is super happy about it, so it's going to be surrounded by lots of flowers. I wonder if you guys have like gotten away with anything that you were very pleased with lately. I don't know why, but when you put flowers around something, it just looks happier. Also in these drawings, the flowers are like, kind of like fireworks. They just go, they go everywhere. Maybe we should make the chicken wing more of a, have a scalloped border. Do you guys know what scalloped means? It means like little bumpy edges, like seashells. I'm gonna go back and forth between the indoor drawing and outdoor. So if we're gonna show Bella's moment of triumph over here, maybe I'll make it pink. What, the yellow shows up the best. My dog has very big ears.
I have 2 dogs, and we're gonna get a third one. And we're gonna get a third one in 1 month.
Oh my gosh, you guys are gonna have a crazy dog house.
Yeah, we're gonna have 3 dogs.
How very exciting. You
Her
know,
name
it's
is-
really hard to
And
make
the
fun.
doggy's name that we're getting is Whiskey.
Missy?
Whiskey.
Whiskey.
Yeah.
Is it like a brown color?
Yeah. She
So
kind of looks like your drawing.
Is she little or big?
She's little, really, really, really little.
Oh, you always have room for another little dog.
Yeah.
And is it like a little dog that would like to sit on your lap, probably?
It's like half border collie and like half chihuahua.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
So we'll snuggle up with you and tell you where to go.
Yeah. And this is my doggy. This is one of them.
I think if you have little ones, you can just have like 6.
Yeah. This is what I do. Luca, get your foot out of the way.
Yeah, I think that you should make drawings of all the dogs.
Yeah. I think I might draw one of my dogs in my picture.
Well, what would they be doing?
Maybe they
Almost
would.
like
Maybe they would be like probably eating some of their dog kibble or something.
not stealing human food?
No,
No, your dog's really well
they
behaved.
do. They were trying to steal my quesadilla a few minutes ago.
I bet they really want that quesadilla. And since this is the kind of drawing where all the happy things happen, maybe you can, in the drawing, the dog could get the quesadilla.
He's never going to.
Never? I don't know about that.
I'm never gonna let him.
I don't want to let my dog get this
He's
stuff.
too stealing. He steals too much anyway.
Is anyone
you
else
guys-
drawing pets?
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, I can.
Yes.
So I think we need more flowers.
I'm drawing when kind of similar to happen in the future. I'm going to get a dog, so I'm kind of drawing what it might feel like to get it.
Well, you could, some of these drawings are about like when you go to do a thing that's exciting. So you could make it about like when you go pick up the dog or when you go meet the dog. It was very exciting for us to go meet our dog the first time.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
And like when we got to hold her and take her for a little walk.
That's what I was thinking of the first time I got to do that. And she'll be a little puppy too.
Oh, she'll be a puppy. Well, that needs a drawing, I think. There's a photograph.
Whiskey is kind of a puppy.
Yeah.
She's 1.
Oh, that's good.
This is my friend Lucas. He's still finishing.
Is Luca a fast drawer?
So he just
Sort of.
whispered that to me.
I mean, you know, slow and careful is really good too.
Mine is over here. I think that I showed this before.
So maybe there's a lot of chicken. I think in Bella's Happy Fantasyland. It's like a forest of chicken.
I'm almost done. Actually, I think I'm done. Bella should know one together.
Oh, that's okay. So guys, just a couple more minutes. This has been the shortest fun thing I've ever done.
A couple more minutes, so whatever.
Are you guys getting close to being done?
I'm still doing the outer part.
Okay. Do you guys all have very exciting borders? I'm gonna get to see them in a minute.
I'm almost done. I already did the top row of my border, but now I'm working on the second.
Okay. You can also
My
finish it up.
friend reports he's actually not done yet.
Okay. The borders express all the happiness that you have about what's in the picture.
I'm doing the flower border.
Oh, good. Anybody have an animal border? Like that elephant border?
I was thinking of doing an animal border.
Well, you can have a double border. You can
That's
have a shaped border and then animals outside. In this tradition, layering is a big deal. Lots of layers.
Kim, I really like your chalk drawings.
Thank you. Now the chicken legs look like goldfish.
Luca, which lunch do you want?
Maybe I'll turn them into fish because I bet the dog would like to eat a fish too.
This is my parents. This is my mom's. You can stick one. They have to, everything has to stay in the mouth.
Okay, one more minute, guys. All right, put all the happiness into the border, put all the happiness into the flowers and what's going on with your pets and your trips. If there's like one more happy thing that can go in there, see if you can just squish all the happiness into your last couple of marks. Thank you guys for coming. Oh, I can't walk away from you. Please tell your friends to help you continue these. And we really will look forward to seeing you guys at the museum when we can do that again.